I don't know. It's preparing the live stream meeting.
Oh, I didn't realize you can go live from Zoom. This is cool.
Mm-hmm. I like it better.
It's probably
What
more clear.
I don't know. It's preparing the live stream meeting.
All Oh, I didn't realize you can go live from Zoom. This is cool.
Mm-hmm. I like it better.
It's probably more clear.
I don't know. Preparing the live stream meeting.
Oh, I didn't realize you can go live from Zoom. This is
I like it better. Told you all we were going to have a special guest couple tonight. They are here with us, and we're going to show you exactly what happens in the divorce club. Get in here, everybody. Get in here. I know this is my first live ever. I never even went live on YouTube. But tonight is that night. I'm stepping out and I'm going to go live. I'm going to show you what the world's best love coach actually does. Because I do more than just talk. I have Orlando here and his partner, Jamila. They're going to tell us all about themselves, the name of their podcast. Of course, I think you probably know Jamila from Good Moms, Bad Choices. That's where I met her, in Los Angeles, California. I'm so happy that she decided to do this with her beautiful partner, Orlando. So we're going to get started, guys. I'm very excited. Tonight, as you know, is the first time that we're ever doing this, so please forgive anything that looks weird. I'm going to make everything really much prettier, but you know, they're here now and they're ready to go. Why don't you all introduce yourself, Orlando and Jamila?
I'm Jamila or Mila. We have a podcast together called Love Like This. Kenya was recently on it, actually last week. So there's a really good episode if you want to check that out. Yeah. Orlando and I have been partners, been together for 4 years coming up. We've been living together for 3. The first year of our relationship, the first 6 months of our relationship is year and a half was long distance and open because of the long distance. We recently got engaged in January, so we're preparing to be married. And I suggested to Kenya that why divorce proof when you could pre-marital divorce proof? A lot of people discuss, a lot of religions, I think religious people discuss having premarital counseling. That doesn't really fit my bill because I'm not into religion specifically. So this seemed like a good opportunity to just set a system of communication so that we're not getting divorced either way, but that we have a system to rely on so that we can prevent that from ever being a topic of conversation.
How long y'all been together?
We were together since January of 2022.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. 3.5 years
now. Yeah.
That's wonderful. Orlando, you can tell us a little bit about yourself. Thank you, Jamila.
I'm Orlando. I am Jamila's partner. Everything that she just said, and also I was born in Jamaica and then like raised in Brooklyn. So I have a very aggressive version of what a relationship looks like. I moved to LA about 3 years ago, so I can live with and be with my love right here. But it was my first time ever living in a house with a woman romantically. And I realized that the only other time I've lived with a woman and like emotions be this heightened was when I was living with my mom. And so now when things come up, I wouldn't say that I view Mila like the same way I view my mom, but I think my body still keeps the score of what it feels like to be hurt by a woman or to be disrespected or to feel like I'm not being really heard. So I can see how my reactions come up within these conversations. And I was a boy that's like that wanted to be married since I was in like the 4th grade. So I was willing to do anything that I can to get to the point of marriage and it also be successful because I've seen so many failing relationships around my life growing up. but just it being successful in any way, and without it also being a detriment to myself. So sometimes I would see success as just like submitting and just being like, all right, well, whatever you say, you're right. And then
Happy
that
wife, happy wife, happy life. Yeah.
exactly. So I wanted to find a middle ground to where, yeah, my wife can be happy without me feeling like I have to deal with like so many things or just take on so many things or look the other way or turn the other cheek to a lot of things.
Yeah, that's never going to work. Now, do you want to marry Jamila? Like, do you want to be married someday?
Thinking about it. But yeah, no, yes, I do.
Oh, let's say, oh, okay, I thought, that was the direction. I mean, that's the impression I got.
Yeah, no, I 100% definitely do want to marry Mila, but I want it to be a marriage where I can be overly happy in.
Oh, wow. Overly happy.
Yeah.
Jamila, you know what he's talking about?
I'm thinking peace. Talking just about peace and happiness. We both come from family dynamics that we didn't see healthy relationships. Orlando's the product of his dad stepped out on his wife, and he was a product of that affair. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of trauma there. And I am a product of a long-term marriage since they were 14 and 17. Lots of cheating, lots of fighting, lots of my mom beating my dad's ass, lots of arguing and tumultuous. I insist on using this word and I always fuck it up. Tumultuous relationships. And so I think we're both coming in with the idea that we're going to do things differently. And we recognize that it requires to learn some shit. And so I'm grateful that we got to have this opportunity to do this with you and share.
I'm so excited. Can y'all mind telling your ages?
I am 34 and my much older.
I'm 36.
She was really robbing the crater. She's a cougar. She's 36.
I'll be 30 next month. So we're 3 years apart.
That's great. I mean, I get men 15 years younger. This is nothing.
Golden baby.
Now I'm a real cougar. All right. So this is great. Now, so tonight you guys stepped in for the first time in Divorce Proof Club. And something I heard you say, even before we get to the club, you said about your mom and the abuse and the neglect or disrespect that you felt. Some men don't want to own up to the mother stuff. I hear a lot of women say, we have our father stuff. But some men don't even like to even bring it as if it's never even existed, that they had a tumultuous relationship with their mother. What gives you the courage to say that? And why do you say that?
I think that owning up to the truth of it makes me want to like realize that I that needs to be like the standard of what I need to be better than. And so, Mila has a daughter also, and since I've stepped into like being like stepdaddy duties, I've tried to position myself and remember what it was like when I had a parent at that age. And so I think about like things that my parents did at that age, and that also helps me be a better parent. And since I was a kid, one of my things that I always say to myself was, I'll just do the opposite of whatever my parents were doing, and then I'll be like pretty okay. So as long as I kind of like remember the reality or the truth of what was happening when I was a kid, then I can use that as like the gold standard to remember this is what you need to be better at, or this is what you need to do differently. So I kind of had to like own up to it to then be better than it.
Jamila, keep him, please.
I am. It's locked and loaded, baby. That's why we're here. He ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, please. And I love you all's podcast. Did you all shout it out yet? Your podcast here on YouTube.
Yeah, so Love Like This. It's about
the love like this. The love like this. All right, good. Next week I'll have it up in your moniker as well. All right, so what we do at Divorce Proof Club is take couples just like this, and we support them in having the tools and resources that they need in order to actually be together forever. Okay, when I say forever, I'm saying forever. Like, there's no reason their relationship is going to transition 1,000 times. It's going to change. Sometimes it's romantic, then it's unconditional, then it's this, then it's that. And that's what people don't understand when they're getting married. So what we're going to do is start by laying down a foundation in y'all marriage. You already saw the club. We're going to put the creed and the constitution into your marriage. So what I'm going to do is share the screen right now, and y'all are going to tell the audience what you discovered about your creed and constitution. So I'm sharing my screen, and you all think, oh, this is a quiz, but it's really not, because you guys already know this stuff. The creed, that's the first thing that we started with. Ego, animal, higher self. Mm-hmm. Every couple has to have a creed. That's like an honor system. It's like we on honor system. Like, we know that's my ego. That's an honor system. Like, I know this is my animal. That's honor. Yeah. And so that's why we call this part a creed, right? So tell me what you discovered tonight about the part of us that's the animal. You want to talk about that one? Who wants to talk about animal? One of y'all choose animal, one of you choose ego.
Damn, that's hard. Initially, when you said these things, I was wondering, even during the episode, what's the difference between the animal and the ego? But because I did my prerequisite work, I know. But I can identify with the animal and the ego very much so, because the animal is that initial feeling, that initial reaction, that initial, I would like to say it's like the initial feeling that like irritates you or scratches, does something that jolts you. The trigger. And the ego is the story that I told myself based on that feeling.
Yes,
I can get really stuck in these two places very quickly, because I have a feeling, I define that feeling because I'm very self-aware, and then my ego says, this is what this means. And very rarely do I even go past that. I say, I'm smart, I'm rational, I'm self-aware, and this is what this means. And if you don't get it, fuck you. That is where my protection stops. I think the story is what is like your protection, basically, or like maybe the animals, what you think is protecting you, which tells you break away, retreat, run, leave this motherfucker alone. And I feel that initial irritation, that initial reaction, and then the ego is that story that supports that feeling, and then a lot of times carries that feeling out for much longer than it needs to exist.
That's right. Orlando, how is it when she's stuck in this ego? She believes her story. She believes that you just fucked up and it wasn't right. And that's just her belief. How is that for you when she's in this cycle, just going back and forth, ego, animal, ego, animal?
It's funny because as she's saying it, I can see like how it's played out before in the past, and I can see where her animal comes up, and then her ego starts kicking in, and then it's kind of like a trigger for me. So like when her ego starts, then my animal starts. Oh. Where I'll start feeling like the raw emotion of like, you only think this because of like past emotions with other people. This is not me. This has nothing to do with me, and you're misdirecting. And then I will get funny enough in the flight mode, where I would feel like I don't want to deal with this because this is an issue that someone else created or caused within you, and now I just don't want to deal, and I just want to go. And then that mentality would be supported in my ego, where I would double down and go, well, I don't have to really put much thought or put much energy into this because this is somebody else's issue, and I just need to wait till you calm down to make you realize like this is me, when it really probably just needs to be explored more. And regardless if it was someone else that like created the issue, like we can help like work through it right now. So I can see like how her ego starts up my animal and then feeds into my ego, and then we just get into like this cycle of like my ego starts her animal, and then her animal goes into her ego, and then starts my animal, and then we just in this like infinite cycle.
Well, welcome to the club. I have coached thousands of couples, and that's how everyone is taught to communicate, by our parents, by teachers, by the government. They in arguments, the Congress with the legislative branch, and that's how everybody's communicating. Y'all realize that?
Yeah.
My point. So,
what did you say?
It's like my point, your point, and I just whoever's. And another thing, growing up in like a Caribbean or a Jamaican household, is like the louder person wins. So it's like if I can make my point louder and it can last, I can yell my point longer than you can, then I'm pretty much gonna like win the argument.
I forgot about the loudness factor. That is so true. The
Yeah.
biggest animal wins, you know, like if I'm a snake, a snake is still dangerous,
Mhm.
but but you a lion and you're gonna win that fight. But why would we continue this? This is what we call ego battles.
Mhm.
The battle means the animal and the ego is there, but it's an ego battle. It's just back and forth and back and forth. So that's what we stop in the club. We're putting into that. And I'm going to show you tonight. They're going to show you. Y'all ready to show them? They're going to show you their training in incorporating the higher self.
Okay.
See, because it's no problem with the ego. We're not mad at the ego. If you didn't have your ego, you may as well have a lobotomy. You won't have no personality. If you don't have an animal, you don't have a physical body. You don't have a beating heart, you know? So we need the animal. We need the ego. But if it's not combined with this higher self in our conversation style, then we're losing it. So the conversation, it should go animal. Yes, you have a feeling. Ego, you're going to express it. And your partner's going to bring you down. And then you're going to come back up through the higher self who has the solution to bring you around this circle. So you're connecting all of these components. Now, does that look like a circle?
No.
No.
No, that's more like the cycle that keeps you alive. Here you are in the heart, in the bed. They taking your EKG. You want it to be like this, right?
Waves
Right.
of going,
You
yeah.
want waves. You don't want your EKG. If it do this, that's it. What you doing? Let me show you this one. Some people say, well, you should just only be the higher self. You should always be flat, like always happy, always relaxed. No, that's not like this. You're going to be an ego animal. You're going to be an ego and animal as long as you cross that center line, higher self. Then you're not in a circular argument and a fucked up relationship. So, how do we incorporate the higher self? Oh, it's going to be so much fun. You guys are about to practice it right now, and we're going to use my system, Up Level Communication. For everybody watching, I want you to know this is a very special presentation because not only are you getting into the back end of how our community and systems work, but you can actually practice this at home with your partner. So Force Proof Club, well, guess what? You get this piece tonight. Up Level, we will be here every Thursday night at 9:15, and we will go to 9:45 just to show you what we do in the club. If you want more information, you got to come to progressiveloveacademy.com because this is where you get all the steps. But what we're going to show you is what Orlando and Jamila are learning today. It's going to change their life tonight. And they've already seen how that happens with this work. So who's going to be the venting person and who's going to be the witness tonight?
I'll vent. Wait, you want to vent?
No, just kidding. Go ahead. I was just kidding.
Oh, no, you can vent.
No,
I was going to just say something from a previous situation.
Go ahead, you can vent.
Is that okay, Kenya?
That's fine. That'll be perfect. So if she's going to be the venting person, that means Jamila is going to allow her animal and her ego to speak. Nothing in my work censors your animal. Nothing in my work censors your emotions. We want your emotions, but we want them in safe container. Are you agreeable to be in her witness, Orlando?
I'm agreeing to be your witness to your event.
Wait, now I'm getting nervous. Do you want to vent?
No, you vent.
Okay.
What you feeling nervous about? Well, just save it. Save it for the vent. Save the nerves. Include the nervousness in the vent. So look here. What she's going to do is follow the 4 steps of up-level communication. If you don't know what up-level is, Google it. There are 3 communication systems. 4. There is nonviolent communication, radical honesty, Gottman, and then the best one made by Kenya K. Stevens, up-level communication from Detroit, Michigan. Okay. So this one has 4 steps that you have to use to set up your container. All right. She's going to ask, right? She's going to go ahead. So go ahead and ask.
Can you hold space for my vent right now?
Yes, I can.
Wonderful. Now set up your container. Nobody's wrong.
Nobody's wrong. Nobody's at fault. This is just my ego speaking.
Mm-hmm.
I'm at about a 7 right now.
Mm-hmm.
Can I vent?
Yes, you can.
That's right.
That's a perfect container. Go ahead and vent.
The other night we came in the house with groceries and I sat down and you were going to, and instead of just doing the cooking and putting away 2 bags of groceries that we had, you asked me to help you when I was sitting on the couch. And not only did you ask me to help you, but you left the fucking ice cream that is frozen in the bags and waited until I came to join you putting these groceries away. You could have easily just put the shit away and continued about your way, which was fucking cooking the dinner, which you were doing anyway. I'm a firm believer if you're going to do it, do the whole thing. And it irritated me. It irritated me because then I realized you were literally waiting for me to put these frozen goods away. And I said, I feel like you asked me for help when you don't really need help. And that I know that pissed you off, but it first pissed me off that you asked me for help for something that I don't think you actually needed help for. It's just something that you wanted me to participate in. And I feel like you do that a lot. Hey, can you help me with the groceries downstairs? And I'm like, I get down there as like 1 other bag. I know that this is probably rooted in I'm coming from a background of being a single mom and I get shit done alone all the time. And so you asking me to do, you doing 85% of it and asking me to do 15% is fucking irritating to me. And it pissed me off. And when I said, yo, I feel like you asked me for help for things that you don't really need help for, you reacted. And then that pissed me off even further. He fucking punched a hole in our cabinet. Go ahead, show the people. Go ahead, show them. Okay. It was 11 p.m. at night. It was a Thursday. We were in a good place. We were about to go to a party the next day, a play party. And he got so angry that I said, yo, I think you asked for help a lot. He punched a fucking cabinet. It broke the cabinet. And then I have a background of being in an abusive relationship. It triggers me when there's any physical situations that arise. He knows this. But on top of him doing this, which also fucking up my furniture or my household that we work really hard to keep is a trigger for me. But then he proceeded to say, oh my God, my arm. I think I need to go to the hospital. Knowing good and goddamn well, nobody has fucking health insurance, medical insurance. And then I had to proceed to drive his crying ass to the fucking ER at midnight on a Thursday with no insurance, which took me from a fucking 7 to a 20. And now we're here 5 weeks later and you still have this fucking shit on your arm. And it feels like it was just unnecessary. You're on mute.
Great. Now he's going to say, thank you for sharing. Give her a really sincere, thank you for sharing that. How can I support you?
Thank you for sharing that. How can I support you with that?
All right. You guys, hold on. I want you to center yourselves in the screen. Center yourselves in the screen. This is a very important part. This is up-level soothing. So can you see the words on the right side of my screen here? Good. So you can ask for one of the 7 soothings. Your job, sir, Orlando, is to bring her down to a 0. All right. She's at a 7. She started at an 8, right? Yeah. So go ahead and ask for your first soothing. What do you need him to do to soothe you?
Can you give me some words of empathy?
Wonderful. Now hold on. Everybody watching, this is where the man is going to validate her emotion. This is a practice of validation. So he's about to give her empathy. Here's what you're going to do, Orlando. Empathy has 3 steps in up level. First, you're going to let her know that you understand exactly how she feels. Give her some adjectives.
I understand exactly how you feel. I understand how in the moment and my reaction can be frustrating. I can see how after you already expressed something that could be triggering to you and it happened again can take you from a 7 to a 20. I can understand that.
Now, the second step of empathy, you're going to let her know when you've been there before, when you've been that frustrated, nothing to do with her, someone else, somewhere else in your life, where you can imagine that it was exactly how she felt. So let her know, I know how you felt because I've been there before.
Know how you felt because I've been there before, being in a place where I've expressed to someone something that can be frustrating and then they continue to do it, or purposefully do half of a job or partial of a job just because they felt like they just wanted me to do something to make me do it. I can understand how it can come across that way, and I can understand how you felt in that situation.
All right, very good. Now ask her, does that support you at all?
Does that help support you at all in this moment?
Yes.
Ask her what level she's at.
What level are you at now?
I'm down to a 2.
Hmm.
Wow, you took her down 5 points. Now ask her, how else can I support you because she's not at a 0 yet?
I was going to support you to go from a 2 to a 0 or anything lower.
Um,
You can ask him for one of the 7 soothings: repeat back, reassurance, empathy, simulation, touch, or open-ended questions.
I'd like a reassurance.
So ask her, what would she like to be reassured of?
What would you like to be reassured of?
I would like you to reassure me that in the next time I say something that you don't like or that something is triggering that I say, that you're not going to physically damage any of our property, and you're going to take a deep breath and express to me how that makes you feel instead of punching or throwing anything in our house.
I can reassure you that in the future, when I get frustrated, that I will not become physical towards the house in any type of way, that I will take a breath. I will use my new up leveling system and program so that it cannot get escalated to a point where I have a cast on my hand for 5 to 6 weeks and you are not further frustrated with me about anything.
Tell him thank you for sharing.
Thank you for sharing.
You're welcome.
Ask her, does that support you at all?
I support you at all in any type of way.
Yes, it does. I'm down to a 1.
Wow. So you want to ask her what? How else?
How else can I support you?
Can you give me a kiss?
Ask her what kind of kiss.
What kind of kiss would you like?
A little tongue.
You wanna you want a little tongue in your mouth.
Yeah.
I can do that for you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Ask her, does that support you at all?
I support you.
Yes.
What level are you at now?
I'm at a 0.
Okay.
Okay, your first minute. That was all right, because guess what? I'm gonna ask you, Orlando, does it feel good to have that measurement to where
Yeah,
you know when you've succeeded?
yeah. I guess like when it comes to like success, I'm very like physical in the physical realm based. So if I know exactly where I stand or where I'm at, I can know like what to work on and what to be better at. Even if it's in the moment right now. So to know like where I'm at without guessing. And when it comes to women, like I feel like guessing or just knowing, you just have to know and read their mind has always been like a struggle for me. So to actually know like where we stand is actually very helpful.
That is so powerful. That's what I wanted to know. I think men do or don't know where we are emotionally. And so the measurement of up level is very supportive. Now, how did that feel for you? Were you really down at a 0? Like, did you feel viscerally coming down?
Yes. I feel like I felt viscerally coming down. I feel like helped me to acknowledge that the comment initially was probably just an initial feeling reaction in the moment, and if I would have maybe identified that out loud first, it would have just shifted the energy of the entire interaction, and it wouldn't have escalated so quickly and gone 100 miles per hour to a place it didn't need to go, which was the hospital.
Right. And did you see that just now as she soothed her ego and animal, she just got the answer from higher self.
Mhm. Yeah.
So when I'm saying that it has the solution for all things, but not when the ego's up, you can't hear that. You gotta soothe that ego. That's why men say, well, I don't want to soothe her ego. She just need to calm down. Okay, y'all can wait all day for the higher self to come answer. Or you can expedite that process by soothing each other animal.
Yeah.
So this was your first time. Now y'all have a homework assignment for Divorce Proof Club, which is every day. You will vent, Orlando, and you will vent. People watching, this is not just for women to vent. Men have vents too. Like, tell us, Orlando, how you would have felt if you could have vented in that moment, if you had access to the tools.
Actually, I can see how that night and the weeks after could have gone so much differently because that specific night I was actively trying not to have an argument. I remember saying like I'm not trying to argue, but in saying that in not trying to argue and us continuing to argue, it made my frustration build up twice as fast to where I just like exploded because I was trying to avoid something. And it's like, no matter what I do, it seems like I can't avoid this. And it's getting even more frustrating realizing that I can't avoid this thing that I'm trying to avoid.
I wish we had time for you to vent tonight. Let's do your counter vent. Let's just, y'all have about 10 more minutes to do his vent. All right, go ahead. Go ahead. Set your container. You remember what to do. Hey, listen, I forgot to tell you, take notes when he's venting. Take notes when your partner's venting. Don't look at them in the eye because it's hard. You might take it personal. Just
Okay,
take notes. You won't look at them. Just take notes. All right.
set the stage.
You have to set the stage with
Set the
asking.
stage.
Do I have your permission to vent right now?
You do.
What was the next step?
Nobody's doing anything wrong.
Nobody's doing anything wrong. This is, I believe, my animal speaking. I'm at about a 6 or a 7 right now. And do I have your permission to start venting?
Yeah, I can hold space for that right now.
And now I begin.
Begin. Let it out.
Um, I don't really feel like I'm asking for much. Yes, you were a single mom before and you did do a lot before, did everything before. And now I feel as if I've come in with the intention of taking a lot off your plate so that you have space to do more for your own business, for our child, and just for whatever you want to do. So at the times where I ask for just a little bit of help, just 15% of the time or 15% of the help, because I do feel as if I do most of the work. And it's not that I have a problem with it. I actually enjoy doing for you. But at the times where I can't do for you, I'm only asking for help so that I can continue to stay on the pace and the pace that I'm on practically. Um, on top of that, I never actually asked for help. In my opinion, I don't ask for help as much as I can actually ask you for help. I I take it upon myself to do get things done just because one, that's just how I was raised and how I've been doing things for a very long time. So at the times where I'm asking for a bit of assistance is because I finally gotten to the point where a lot of things may just be too much and I kind of need some help, which I can see how that plays into my frustration growing twice or 5 times as fast is because I wait until things become so much of a pressure before I ask for help. But it can sometimes be difficult to ask you for help because I feel as if this is how you react when I ask you to do these smallest things. Your opinion or how you feel about when you do things or how you do things is your own. And the way I go about it is my own. But I feel like we have to be in tandemness and in teamwork when coming to do things, and asking you for 15% of the help or asking for help 15% of the time, I don't think is really a big ask, especially that night in a situation where I was already doing something for you. I was cooking for you. We were spending a day together, and I was taking, you told me you were hungry, and I felt like I was taking it upon myself to do for you. And so when I'm doing for you and I'm asking you for assistance to continue to do for you, yeah, it became even more frustrating. And that I can see how that night escalated to a point that it didn't need to go, because the feeling of not being appreciated started to set in, because I asked you to get up from the couch which you were sitting at and doing nothing to just assist me with something very minor, in my opinion. So that was very frustrating. And then afterwards, for me to have damaged myself and you to seem to lack empathy or and any compassion, and any compassion for my pain physically and emotionally, but to stay within your frustration of what was happening in the moment and not put that to the side to realize that there is a much bigger issue at hand, which is me physically damaging myself, also played into the frustration and pain. And to be honest with you, afterwards, I thought about how I can better protect myself by just keeping my emotions to myself. And I knew that that wasn't a good solution, but I thought it was the best way to protect myself from harm. And I think that I've been feeling as if you can be very harmful at times. So that's
Okay.
Thank you for sharing.
Mhm.
How can I support you with this?
um we just start off with a physical hug. Okay. Now I'm down to a 5.
Okay, how else can I support you? How can I help get you down from a 5?
Can you repeat my vent to me? Is that how it said? Repeat my vent?
Yeah, repeat back. He'd like you to summarize what he's saying. Can you tell him? He wants to know you hear what he's saying.
When I refuse or decline or am reluctant to help you when you request assistance from me, particularly when you're doing things that help me or help our household, it makes you feel unappreciated, which I understand. And it makes you feel like you need to shut down your feelings and not be expressive to me, which I don't want. And I don't want you to start to suppress your feelings.
Can you stick to a repeat back? We don't want your opinion in it. We want you to tell him what you hear him saying.
And that you would like me to be more considerate of the fact that you are going out of your way to assist and help me. And even in the case of an argument or a disagreement, me continuing to be
What happened? What happened?
I worded something to say what you summarize it.
I said when and I continue to when in a time when we're getting in an argument, instead of pushing aside the argument and being empathetic,
And continuing to be, and I mouth
a bitch.
Okay. He was trying to fill in the word. That's how you play fill in the blank.
I was looking for him to be more empathetic, and he said a bitch.
Let him know. You should have said, now hold on. One thing, she's going to continue her repeat back, but I felt like your vent was very tame. We're going to get you to the point where you're letting that animal out. Like, to me, you were acting like a bitch. You were like, you have to be able to express that out of your body. Vents are not tame. They're the animal. You're letting the animal speak. So now if you're like mouthing bitch, you didn't say bitch.
That's what I was trying to hold back because I was like, damn, I should have expressed it when I had the chance to and not interrupted
Yeah.
the summary. Yeah.
Right. See, that's what happened. He didn't really do his full vent. So finish your repeat back.
Yeah, that I could be more, you would like for me to be more empathetic, even during an argument, in the case that even something doesn't go the way that I would like it to go. And for me to be more considerate of the fact that you are going out of your way to assist and to help me and to lessen my workload and my stress load, and to be more aware of how I come off when you are asking me for something that obviously you're requesting because you're in need of.
Yeah. Thank you.
Tell her thank you for sharing.
Thank you for sharing. I am now down.
No, hold on. Tell her thank you for sharing.
Thank you for sharing.
Now you ask him, does that support you at all?
Does that support you at all?
Yes, I'm now down to a 1.
Okay. How can I bring you down to a 0?
I can go for a tap kiss.
A what?
A tap kiss.
Okay.
Tap kiss. What's that?
Tap.
Oh, tap kiss. All right. All right. Does that support, ask him, does that support you at all?
Does that support you at all?
Yes, I'm down to a 0.1.
Okay. Ask him, how else can I support you?
How else can I support you?
A closing hug would be great.
Okay.
So, wow, I just love that. I love that we recognize that we got to get your animal up next week, because you are, during the week when y'all venting, your assignment is to vent every single day. You're going to hold space for him. You're going to hold space for him. There's no interrupting a venting person. You all already know that. And then, you know, the soothings, you're getting them. You all know them by heart. That's good. Smart. So you soothe your partner down to a 0 at least once a day. There are to be absolutely no arguments in your relationship. If somebody is outside a container complaining, why, where are you at? You didn't bring this up. Tell them, excuse me, do you have a vent? Do you need to set container? We have to interrupt the pattern this week.
Okay.
If you find her out of container, talking to you talking crazy, tell her to get into container. Mm-hmm. If she can't, you have to set the boundary of excusing yourself. You're not going to listen to her vent without container. You're not going to listen to him vent without container. We're done. To avoid more broken arms.
Whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes.
Y'all did so good. I'm so proud of y'all. Thank you so much. I look forward to seeing y'all again. And everybody's watching and commenting. They want to see you next week again as well. And we're signing off, Divorce Proof Club. If you're not in here, what are you doing? Don't fail at a relationship just because you don't have the tools. You're not a relationships failure. This system has failed us. And so that's why we built new systems, and we're educating and training those who want sustainable relationships.